Clawbot launched their product end of 2025, and very recently, about 3 weeks ago, it got really hyped up and they had to change their name to Moltbot and now OpenClaw. In this video, I'm going to go over the exact use case, how people are actually using OpenClaw. There has been a lot of concerns that Clawbot is not really a good tool versus no, this is an amazing tool, it's changing my life. There are so many videos that are pro to Clawbot, Moltbot / OpenClaw, and there are so many videos that are like, don't use this will ruin your life. Very extreme. This is like a political party, Republican versus Democrat. That's how I feel. I see Clawbot. Stop changing your name, OpenClaw. Let's just say OpenClaw. By the way, the reason why they changed their name is because Claude, right? Claude said, you know what? Clawdbot is very similar to Claude. So you can't really name Clawdbot. Even though it's spelled different, it's pronouncing the same. I guess their lawyer had more money, so they had to change their name to Moltbot. But I don't know why they changed their name again to OpenClaw. Maybe they didn't like Moltbot, but now it's OpenClaw, right? But let's actually talk about the real money, right? People are talking about how it's changing their lives, but how? In what way? But also in this video, we're also going to talk about how we can use it safe if you are to use this so that you can generate some money using AI, okay? So let's get into it. All right, I've gathered a couple different use cases that people are actually using OpenClaw. Me personally, when I first used Clawbot a couple weeks ago, I had to delete it right away because it's been sending messages to random people that I didn't approve. And it sent a message to one of my clients. As soon as that, I'm like, I need to delete this until this is all settled down. Even the founder of Clawbot, OpenClaw, Peter, said, this is not really ready for non-techie people, but I'm pretty sure it is about to be ready. So what we're gonna do is let's go over some of the real actual use cases that people have been posting on X and YouTube. These are the real verified use cases that, according to them, right? I can't really check their numbers behind the scenes, but these are the actual things that people talk about. So we are going to talk about that. These are 4 different categories and community tested. The number one, the very first one, is a daily Reddit digest. I don't know if you are into SEO or if you're like really wanting your smaller business to middle-sized business to grow. SEO is one of the biggest things. And AI, especially AI SEO, they quote Reddit like crazy all the time. I don't know why they like Reddit so much, but honestly, it's been a game changer for like the SEO journey that I had with a couple of my clients in the past. Because so what we did is we actually focused really high on Reddit post, but this is very, very helpful because if you're automating some of the Reddit and if they know this is AI, chances are you'll get kicked out. But one of the best thing about Clawbot, I keep saying Clawbot, one of the best thing about OpenClaw is that it's your personal assistant living in your phone. So it can literally do on behalf of you. And as long as you have a setup that's right, that's correct, they won't know this is AI. That's the best part, right? And the other thing is, well, it's pretty similar to the second thing related to social media. But one thing about Reddit is, let's just say you are finding this trend and you want to keep up with the trend that Reddit, one of your Reddit influencer or whatever, the person is posting. And you want to make sure you don't miss anything, just like X or YouTube, same thing. Then your personal assistant can go over there and then they can literally give you important updates and send it to your WhatsApp, which is fantastic, right? Which is similar to the daily YouTube digest. YouTube itself is amazing, right? This is a platform that everybody just jumps on and then it's great content. But one thing about YouTube is there are millions of videos that are posted on daily basis. So it's very hard to find. Even the creators that you follow, like they could post like multiple videos at the same time. You're watching one and then you can't really watch the other one. So it's what if the AI, right, your personal assistant can summarize it for you. They will not only summarize the whole thing for you, but they will tell you the key points. So as an example, if you have a favorite YouTuber, let's just say this actually applies for educational content because like person like Mr. Beast, you probably don't want to get key points of his video. Like it's for entertainment. Entertainment, you just mindlessly watch it. That's what it is. But I'm talking about some of the things that are educational video, right? Just like this too, like the video that you're watching right now, let's just say you don't have time to watch the full video. The Clawbot can literally go to my YouTube channel and then it can summarize it for you. It will send you key points. Hey, these are the things that Sandy said about Clawbot. So you need to know know about this number 1, number 2, number 3. That's it. Isn't that great? That alone will save you so much time, and you'll be on top of the game in terms of staying up to date and knowing what's actually happening around the world. Now let's go to number 3, still social media, X. My gosh, X is great. Right? Great for any news, any update. And I get my news and my update from X as well, even though my account in X is not active because I can't keep up with any other people who are posting on X. What if you're getting like a qualitative analysis of your account? Let's just say you have an account and you want to know exactly where you're at compared to your competitor. And you want to see how many posts that competitor are posting and how many engagements that they're having versus your posts that are kind of similar and how many engagement that you have, right? Like AI can definitely study the pattern. It's like having a AI social media content management, and they can also feed you with information with the latest technology, update and news, whatever channel that you follow. So that's actually happening with OpenClaw. That's the reason why everybody was talking about it, because instead of hiring their own personal social media marketer or like assistant, they are hiring AI, and AI will do that for you. That's why it was so hot and popular. Now let's go over the case study number 4 that people have been using. This is a very, very cool one as well. So this is another category, which is creative and building. So one thing about OpenClaw, it's amazing because just imagine having a full-time employee, right? 24/7 who can work for you. That's what it is. 24/7 engineer that can build mini app builder and that can rapidly experience some of the side projects that you were thinking. And while you're asleep, that's the best part. I'm pretty sure you saw that people have been buying Mac Minis, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about right here. The Mac Minis that people are buying is because they want to make sure they've run multiple OpenClaw, meaning if they have like 5 OpenClaw agents who can build multiple different mini apps for you. And if you have the sales skills, if you have the infrastructure in terms of the people that you can actually sell, this is a game changer. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. If you don't have the market, then this is probably just one of the tools that you can do right now. You can just kind of build right now, but it's going to be hard to sell, because imagine how easy it is to build an app right now, right? Especially with using OpenClaw, then how difficult would that be for us to compete with any other people? So one of the main thing that will have you stand out versus your competitor is actually having your audience. Having audience is so important. And that's the reason why I suggest every single one of you who's actually serious about making money online or trying to sell the app, then you need to create a channel, whether that's you show your face or you don't show your face. It's okay. I want you to just create a channel and just start posting something. Now, here's the main difference. If you want to build your personal brand, I recommend showing your face so that people can connect with you still, because people connect with people better versus connecting with a thing or AI, right? AI is just a tool. That's my thought. But if you're wanting to build your brand, you don't necessarily have to be the face. I know a lot of clients that I work with, they don't really want to show their face. They're like, Sandy, I don't really like to show up, and I'm awkward in front of camera. That's okay. You don't have to show your face. In fact, AI is actually really, really good at creating AI influencer. And I'm going to talk about this in my other video, but Cdance just launched their newest model, Cdance 2.0, and it's insane. It will be a game changer, which we're going to talk about that later. But anyways, this is one of the things that you can do using Clawbot. Number 5 is YouTube content pipeline, right? So we talked about YouTube in the past and how it will gather information for you, summarize it, and let you know, right? But not only that, what if you're actually wanting to create content on YouTube? Just like what I just barely talked about, you need to create content. But when it comes to creating content, one of the most biggest challenge that I personally face, and I've seen my clients face, is that getting the video idea, because you don't want to get any of the crappy video ideas, right? One of the challenges that I had and also my clients have is they're struggling to get YouTube video ideas. This actually takes a long time because you have to look at your competitor and see what's working for them. And that has to be within the past 2 weeks instead of like 7 months ago. That's way too long, right? The maximum a month. In that way, if it's not repeating way too much, then algorithm will push you and suggest you as long as you make the right video. I know recently they made a change that Gemini is learning the whole YouTube channel as well. So again, going back to what I just barely shared in the past, let's see. AI SEO is very important. So what does that mean? If you were to do your business, creating content on YouTube is fantastic. And that's one of the main suggestions that I have for you. But also if you can create like multiple different contents like shorts and post in different channels, then AI will recognize you as that person. So right now, what I do is even though I'm in sales and marketing and automation in AI business, I really want to make sure that I am viewed as AI expert. So whenever there's a latest update and I give your opinion, and what I can do, which I'm not doing right now, is I can create content that are short content and I can post in multiple different platforms as well. That's my next step that I will be working on. So going back to this YouTube content pipeline, track trending topics in your niche automatically, organize ideas and brainstorm, production ready, and never run out of content ideas again. Isn't that great? So imagine you wake up and OpenClaw just give you 5 ideas that you can record this week. And those are all legitimate, really good ideas that are actually proven to work with your competitor. How amazing is that? I'm not saying you should copy their ideas, but I'm saying that can be a reference so that you can be creative based on the reference that you're having. Even doctors like PhDs, what they do is when they're writing their own report, they're actually referencing other people's work, right? So that's exactly what we're doing. We're not literally just copy and paste, but we're making our own work based on the reference that we get. Now let's talk about point number 6. This is productivity, which is another category. This is actually my favorite. One of the reasons why I downloaded OpenClaw is because of this inbox declutter. I get so many spam emails every single day. It's so frustrating. I'm sending emails too to different businesses for my business. So maybe they think I'm a spam, but we all do it, right? So I can't really complain. But I get a ton of spam mails and I get a lot of newsletters that are also really, really good, but I don't have time to read it because they're buried in other emails or newsletters are so long, right? So it takes forever for me to read it. But anyways, what if Clawbot says, hey, your favorite person from this newsletter said this, and then just summarize in 3 sentences. And also it can unsubscribe the things that I don't want to subscribe, right? It will just, as long as there's a permission setting, this will be a fantastic one as well. Because my MacBook right now, I have 256 gigabyte and I'm almost full. I think I have like 256 gigabyte and I think I'm like 255 or something like that. And that 15 of that gigabyte is coming from Gmail. So imagine you have a personal assistant and that will declutter your emails. Wouldn't that be great? I would absolutely love that. Let's go over point number 7, which is another productivity, is creating a personal CRM system. So this is actually how people use it. They create a CRM system instead of paying like a really expensive, like go high level, instead of using really expensive tool to keep track of your CRM for your own personal result or for your business. In this case, I'm going to talk about for business purposes, so you can actually generate money using this, is automatically it will discover and track contacts from email and calendar, right? So imagine you have business communication with your clients. It will automatically track the conversation, contacts, and emails. If you want them to track conversation and summarize it, it will do that for you. And it will have a natural language queries, which is fantastic. I think that's one of the benefit of OpenClaw is that they don't use a very, very like odd language. It's more of a friend who's living in your phone. That's what it is. That's why there was a hype. And never forget a follow-up or lose connection, builds your relationship graph automatically, your network organized without busy work. So pretty much your network is way more organized because your personal assistant will do that for you. All right, let's go with the number 8, how people are using this. A lot of us nowadays, we're really into health, right? So we have this iPhone that's keeping track of our heart rate. And I recently bought an app that I take a picture of my food and it will just calculate how many calories I eat. My husband thinks I'm crazy, but I gotta stop eating so much because I eat way too much until I'm really full. And I heard that that's not really healthy for you. So OpenClaw can track your food intake, and your symptoms. I'm thinking the symptoms based on like the watch that I'm talking about, like Apple, whatever, and or like the health on the iPhone. And also, if you are needing to take water or needing to take medication, it will have a scheduled checked-in reminders for you so that you can stay consistent. This is the best part. You can find the patterns. And one of the things that I really like this idea of productivity is it will not necessarily make you money, but it will make you healthy, which is related to money. Do you know how expensive it is to go to hospital, especially in the US? Staying healthy is one of the best thing that you can do when it comes to saving money in the US, especially. So yeah, that's one of the productivity. Let's go with the number 9. Number 9, multi-channel assistant. Now, this is the reason why a lot of people talked about Clawbot 2 weeks ago. And one of the ways I use Clawbot, the only ways that I knew, the only way that people were talking about is using through Telegram, Slack, email, calendar. It doesn't have WhatsApp over here, but WhatsApp is really, is that how you spell WhatsApp? All of a sudden, I'm so confused, but I'm thinking it is. But WhatsApp is really popular channel to do it. Now, Telegram itself, they have a bot, right? But WhatsApp doesn't really have a bot. It's more of a chat feature that you will talk to yourself and then it will respond back, right? So WhatsApp was a little bit confusing for me, and it will just randomly send messages to people, like I mentioned before. That's why I had to delete it. But Telegram, I heard that it's pretty decently good. So I'm going to talk about security feature if you were to use this, how you can use this in a more secure setting in about a minute. But let's continue to talk more about this. Imagine you get like a voicemail or you get text messages, right, from your clients. If you have a personal assistant who's really trained, they can talk on behalf of you. They sound like you. They have your knowledge and they will just talk like you, right? It's like literally your assistant. That's what OpenClaw was about. That's the reason why this idea was really popular 2 weeks ago. Now, number 10 is for research and learning. There's a lot of us who are wanting to make money using AI. And one of the ways that you can use this is it tracks technology and the AI earnings reports automatically, which is fantastic. So the subcategory of these two that I want to talk about, because I talked about 12 different use cases. The first one is the coin tracker. One of the reasons why that people didn't really like OpenClaw or Clawdbot is because there was a coin named Claude, right? And they were keep associating the coin Claude with the Clawbot. And the rumor has it is the reason why Clawbot was so hyped up is because of these crypto people, and then they were probably like investing a ton into Clawbot, which is not even ready for people to use, so they can do this, blah blah. And I think that's fairly reasonable. And I actually recorded another video, in my opinion, of sharing my idea of Clawbot about 2 weeks ago. But at this time, after 2 weeks, what Peter Steinberg did, which is the founder of OpenClaw, is he fixed the issues, right? And people fixed the issues. Engineers are telling us how to use it safely because the idea itself is great. The idea is fascinating where people are like, I needed this. Oh my gosh, if Siri were to do this, I would have loved Siri because Siri is pretty dumb, I would say. I don't know if Siri's listening right now, but they're pretty dumb, right? Even Alexa, they're not as smart. Not right now. But imagine having this. So Claude is more like Jarvis on Iron Man, right? I recorded another video that I talk about this because with the Meta glasses, like Vision Claw, that's using Clawbot's integration or services, it's actually a really cool idea. So OpenClaw is more like a Jarvis in Iron Man, right? And Iron Man tells Jarvis to do something, the AI will just build everything like the suit and checks on your heart rate. That's literally what Clawbot is doing. Now the difference is Clawbot still has to live in your phone. You'll still need to talk to him through Telegram or WhatsApp, right? But I don't know if you watched my last video that I talked about Vision Claw. Vision Claw is you literally talk through your glasses, and Clawbot can look things through your glasses, which is pretty cool. So I've checked that video if you haven't checked that out. But what I really want to tell you is they're pretty good. If you're into coin, which I am not personally, but if you're into coin, they're really good at keeping track of numbers. So AI earning tracker. The other thing is, let's just say you're like, I don't really do coin, but I do stocks, right? So they're really good at like trading, keeping track of trading and stocks. I personally don't know if I would trust my personal AI assistant to handle my money just yet. I don't think AI is there yet. What if it hallucinates and spend all the money that I have on my bank account? I don't want that to happen. Who do I blame? Right? I can't blame anybody if that were to happen. So from that being said, personally, I'm not letting AI to touch my money, but AI can give me feedback. It can give me a market analysis report, which is great. So let's talk a little bit more about Clawbot security features. I found this on X, and Daniel put this post on X that these are some of the things that we can do to fix the issues. Because one of the main issue that Clawbot was having is it's not secure. People can access your API. It's like giving your key to the house. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And that was before we knew about the security feature. But now I feel like it's pretty good for us to test things out because people were guinea pigs, right? And I was one of the guinea pig too. And as soon as I found out I'm not as techie to use this, like not as techie meaning I don't really know heavily in detail of all the security feature. I could study, but it will take me a long time, right? So I waited. I deleted it and then waited a little bit, and then I was staying on top of all the updates and what people are posting. And literally, it was pretty sad to see how, and one thing about OpenClaw, people had mixed opinions, like I mentioned before. It's like a political parties, kind of. Some people love it and some people hate it, right? So I did deep into why people actually hate it, and that's because of the security feature. So as an example, one of the vulnerability is the gateway being exposed, right? But then you can set the gateway token in your environment just to make sure it's not exposed to anybody else. And the other thing is DM policy allows all users and set the allow list. Very specific. This was one of my problem. I was like, you know what? This was one of my problem, and I'm definitely going to install this and then set this feature. Now, the third one, sandbox, disabled by default. Yeah, it could be disabled by default, but you can enable it. Sandbox equals all plus docker.network, right? And credentials, yeah, you can save the credentials, but we have to have permissions. Use this one instead of JSON to save your credentials. I don't know why people save credentials in JSON, to be honest. That's kind of weird. The Clawbot had a setting of saving credentials in JSON, but it should always be env. And prompt injection via web content. Yeah, that's the problem. Then you wrap untrusted content into untrusted tags. Dangerous commands unblocked. You can block this so that it's not unblocked. If something's unblocked, block it. That's what it is. This is. And it has to specifically tell you how to do that. There's no network isolation. Use Docker network isolation. And elevated tool access granted is restrict MCP tools to minimum needed. I thought this was fascinating because MCP tool is a fascinating tool that can build things for you. So we talked about building mini apps before. In order for you to build mini apps using different features, you probably would need either API keys or MCP tools to learn different AI, right? But right now, we're suggesting the minimum is needed. But right now, they're suggesting restrict that as much as possible because it can mess up with your other workflow. We don't want that to happen. Just kind of similar concept as don't give your money account access to your money to Clawbot, right? So no audit logging enable comprehensive session logging. And the last one is weak and default pairing codes. If some of the codes are weak and default, always ask the other AI to see how they would have used it, but use cryptographic random codes and rate limiting for this one too. So what I really suggest you to do, if I were you, if you want to use OpenClaw, you have to know this. Okay, you have to know specifically what this is talking about and fix it before you use it. Security feature has to be there when you're using OpenClaw, especially. I'll put this in the description below so you can have access to this post on X. And this is pretty cool. I wanted to share that with you because this one guy, Marshall, he actually bought a phone that's like a really cheap phone for 25 bucks. And then this is like, he call it Claw phone, because he doesn't want the Claw to have access to his like any other things on his phone. So I thought this was a pretty cool idea to get started. Now, I talked enough about OpenClaw a little bit, and the idea is great. It's working. That's the reason why people are using this, and that's the reason why there was a hype, right? I'm thinking the hype is not necessarily just because of the coins, right? Because I did a little bit more research after I posted that video, and I think that's part of it is so true, but also people are falling in love with it because the idea itself is good. From that being said, people are making money out of that idea as well. Like Vision Claw, which is the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and you're putting Gemini inside, which is AI, and you're putting Claw inside. So when you're looking at things, you're telling your personal assistant Claw to do whatever. So that's an idea out of OpenClaw. And the other thing is OpenAI. So like I mentioned before, if there is hype, and if there's audience, if there's interest, and if it's a good idea and they're already generating money, which I feel like OpenClaw has been in that case, as long as the security feature isn't there, OpenAI definitely saw the opportunity. And they actually launched this OpenAI Frontier. So I thought to maybe share a little bit. You can't use it like if you're just a one solopreneur or like small size business, because the main difference is only enterprise businesses can use this for now, which I get it, that's fine. But the concept is pretty similar. So OpenAI Frontier is going above and beyond than just agent, right? It has interfaces of, it's going above and beyond than just AI agents. It will do much more than that. It will actually live in your phone, and it'll actually make things for you and have access to your all the apps and do it. Kind of like what AI agent is doing, but I don't really like OpenAI's AI agent, to be honest. They're slow. I rather use Claude Code versus using OpenAI's AI agent. And whenever they're trying to have access to my web browser, it struggles a lot. So I'd rather use anti-gravity for that too. So anyways, I thought if you're enterprise firms, then you can definitely apply for this and try to see if this is worth your money and time. Because there are two different things when it comes to AI. The first thing is you're saving money with AI. The other thing is you're saving time with AI. Eventually, saving time will be the same as saving money with AI. So I feel like this specific thing can be both, right? And this is the latest technology that OpenAI just gave us, meaning the Google might come up with something similar. They always find these complaints that other people have, make it better, and publish it. So it's very important for us to learn AI. I have a love and hate relationship with AI, to be honest, because it's developing way too fast. But if you don't learn how to use AI, you're gonna stay behind. And I don't want you to stay behind. Even farmers back in the days, one person doing every single work, one hand by hand, right? Versus one person using tractor. Who's generating more crops for the rest of the year? The one who's using the tool. Use AI as a tool and think of this as a tool and think how you can generate revenue using AI and how you can save time using it. In the next video, I will specifically talk about that. I'll be talking about one of the ideas that I found on YouTube that you can use, especially if you're introvert or if you don't have a lot of time. This is like one of the perfect side gig idea that I have for you. So make sure to watch that.